Reading number 5 from The Meadow by Ray Bradbury. Characters: Douglas, a Hollywood movie producer; Smith, an aging night watchman; and Man. Filming has ended and the movie set of Notre Dame Cathedral is about to be dismantled by a work crew. At night, Smith, the watchman, attempts to hammer the set back into place. Man. There he is, Mr. Douglas, up on top of the Notre Dame set over there. Douglas. What's he want with me? Calls up. Hey, there, you. What do you want with me? Hey, up there. Smith, calling down from distance. Come on up. I want to have a talk with you. Man. Don't do it, Mr. Douglas. He's crazy. Smith. Bring a gun if you want. Calling down. I just want a little talk with you. Man. Don't do it, Mr. Douglas. Douglas. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going up. Man. Take my gun then, Mr. Douglas. Do that much at least. Douglas. All right, give it to me. Let's get this over with. There's a party I'm supposed to be at in an hour. I'll go partway up and keep under cover. You have your guns ready. I don't want that set burned down or anything. Material's too scarce. We're going to break up that set and use it over at the other lot. It's worth money. Okay, keep me covered. I'm on my way. Sound. Footsteps, climbing ladder, hold under. Douglas, panting. I'm coming, Smith, but my men have got us both covered, so don't try anything. Smith, calling. I won't. Why should I? Just you keep climbing. Sound. Climbing ladder again, this time with a little wind added. Then climbing stops. A leg is thrown over the parapet. Douglas, panting. All right, Smith, I'm up here. You stay over there where you are. I've got a gun. Smith. I'm not afraid of your gun. I won't move. Don't be afraid of me either. I'm all right. Douglas. I wouldn't put money on that. Smith. Mr. Douglas, did you ever read that story about the man who traveled into the future 200 years from now? He found that everybody in the world of the future was insane. Yes, everybody was insane. And since everybody was insane, they didn't know they were insane. They all acted alike, and so they thought themselves normal. And since our hero was the only sane one among them, therefore he was abnormal, therefore he was insane, to them at least. Yes, Mr. Douglas, insanity is relative. It all depends on who is locked up, who has who locked in what cage. Douglas. I didn't climb up here to talk all night. Get on with it. What do you want? Smith. I want to talk with the Creator. That's you, Mr. Douglas. Douglas. Me? Smith. Yes, that's you. You're sort of a god. You created all this. You came here one day and struck the earth with a magical checkbook and clapped your hands and said, "Let there be Paris." And there was Paris. Streets, bistros, flowers, and all. You were a god creating, and you clapped your hands again. You cried, "Let there be Constantinople." And there it was. You clapped your hands 1,000 times. Each time you created something new. Now you think you can just clap your hands once more, and it'll all fall down into ruins. But Mr. Douglas, it's not as easy as that. Douglas. I own 58% of the stock in this studio. Smith. Did you ever think to come here late some night and climb up here and look and see what a wonderful world you created? Did you ever wonder if it might not be a good idea for you to sit up here with me and my friends and have a cup of Amontillado sherry with me? All right, so the Amontillado smells and looks and tastes like coffee. Imagination, Mr. Creator, imagination. But no, you never came around. You never climbed up. There was always a party somewhere else. And now, very late, without asking us, you want to destroy it all. You may own 58% of the studio stock, but you don't own them. Douglas. Them? Who in thunder is them? Smith. Them? It's hard to put into words. People who live here. Douglas. There are no people here. Music. Night theme. Smith. Yes, there are. There were so many pictures made here in all the years. Extras moved in the streets, in costumes. They talked a lot of languages. They smoked cigarettes and meerschaums and Persian hookahs even. Dancing girls danced. They glittered. Women with veils smiled from high windows. Soldiers marched. Children played. Knights in armor fought. There were tea shops. People sipped tea in them and dropped their H's. Gongs were beaten. Viking ships sailed the seas. Douglas. It's cold up here. Smith, going right on. And somehow, after the extras went, and the men with the camera and the equipment and microphones, after they all walked away and the gates were closed and they drove off in big limousines, somehow something of all those thousands of people remained. The things they had been, or pretended to be, stayed on. The foreign languages, the costumes, the things they did, things they thought, their manners, and their religions. All those little things stayed on. The sights of far places, the smells, the salt wind, the sea. It's all here tonight, if you listen. Sound, the wind. Douglas, the wind. Smith, you heard. You did hear, didn't you? By golly, you did. I see it in your face. Douglas, well, if I say so myself, I've got a pretty good imagination. But you should have been a writer. Well, are you ready to come down now? Smith, you sound a little more polite. Douglas, do I? I don't know why I should. You've ruined a good evening for me. Smith, did I? It hasn't been bad, has it? A bit different, I should say. Stimulating, perhaps. Douglas, pause. You're a funny old man. I can't figure you, and I wish I could somehow. Smith, don't tell me I've got you thinking. You're not as excited as you were. Douglas, after you've lived in Hollywood long enough, you meet all kinds. Besides, I've never been up here before. But what I'd really like to know is, why should you worry about all this junk? What's it to you? Smith, I'll show you what it is to me. As I said before, you came here years ago, clapped your hands, and 20, 50, 100 cities appeared. Then you added 80 different nations and 500 other people, and religions and political setups inside the barbed wire fence. Douglas, mechanically. And there was trouble. Smith, right. You can't have that many people crowded so close and not have trouble. But the trouble died out. You know why? Douglas, if I did, I wouldn't be standing up here freezing. Music, night theme again. Smith, because you got Boston joined to Trinidad, part of Trinidad poking out of Lisbon, part of Lisbon leading on Alexandria, Alexandria tacked on to Shanghai, and a lot of little pegs and nails between, like Chattanooga, Oshkosh, Oslo, Sweetwater, Soissons, Beirut, Bombay, and Port Arthur. You shoot a man in New York and he stumbles forward and drops dead in Athens. You take a political bribe in Chicago and somebody in London goes to jail. It's all so close, so very close. That's why we have peace here. We're all so crowded there has got to be peace, or nothing would be left. One fire would destroy all of us, no matter who started it, for what reason. So all of the people, the memories, whatever you want to call them, that are here, have settled down, and this is their world, a good world. And tomorrow, you're destroying it. Music, out. Sound, the wind blows quietly through the struts. Douglas clears throat. Yes, I see. Self-consciously. Well, shall we go down now? Smith. Yes, I'm ready to go if you are. You go down first, Mr. Douglas. I know you don't trust me. I don't blame you. You go on down. I'll follow you. Sound. Steps going down. Smith, panting. Here we are. Pause. What are you going to do now? Douglas. Why, I hadn't thought. Go to that party, I suppose. Smith. Will it be fun? Douglas. Not certain. Yes. Now somewhat irritated. Yes. Sure, it'll be fun. Pause. Don't tell me you've still got that hammer. Smith. Yes. Douglas. You going to start building again? Smith. Yes. It won't hurt anything. It's not destructive, is it? Douglas. I guess I can't object to that. You don't give up, do you? Smith. Would you, if you were the last builder and everybody else was a wrecker?